What is good YouTube? This is the track we're going to be working on today. Check this. The entire project file is available on my Patreon. Today, we're going to be looking at this drum technique. It's like transient replacing live in a project without changing any of the samples. So I'm going to show you that in this track. Okay. Check this. Originally, I wanted to use a drum that I don't really use, and the reason is it gives me more creative juice when I hear a kick drum that isn't the one I usually use, because you can really easily get stuck in your ways and you can really easily become obsessed with the same loop over and over again. And if you use the same drums, that's no different than using the same effect chains and basses. So I decided to switch it up. But as you can see, I started with the agony kick one, which I usually use. Yeah, this kick is a little messy, a little noisy, not that great low end, but I started using it either way. So boosting the transients with the EQ, using stab to give it more transients, using kilohertz transient shaper to give it more transients, and it sounds like this on its own. But I was like, it works in the track while it was a work in progress. But when I started finishing the actual song, it was a little underwhelming. So I had this idea. What if I replace, hear me out, the transient of the kick drum without messing with the sample itself? I tried adding small bits of audio, but it didn't help because the transient was a little too messy. So this is what I did. I opened up a new channel with Serum 2. You can use any sampler. I just used Serum 2 as a sampler. And I added Agony Kick 1. I made sure I have this transient shaper on here so I can get rid of the tail. Obviously, I could have done it in Serum, but I didn't want to mess with it that much. I got rid of the lows here. Obviously, have an EQ afterwards because I needed a little tone shaping. But when the transient plays, it sounds like this, and it adds a real good punch to our kick drum. Now I'll show you how I did it. I have Shaperbox 3 here, which only uses the oscilloscope, which will show me the kick drum, but it's not really important. I just need to have it that way so I can pull up the sidechain window. So I have sidechain enabled. This way I can detect the transient of the channel I'm using it on. So now I have the transient as a source I can use to output MIDI from the plugin. So I set the plugin to output C3, which is, as you probably know, the default original pitch setting of any sampler. As long as you press C3, it will replay the original pitch that you imported. So I output the Shaperbox input, which is controlled by the original kick drum, into this new channel, as you can see, which will drive the Serum, so it will play back this exact kick drum as soon as this hits. Now we have a little bit of a clashing in between kick drum transients, so I use Borrasca's sidechainer, and in the sidechainer I set up the transient layer, which controls the sidechainer. So every time a transient plays, the transient of the original is cut out. So now we have a perfect blend of a kick drum. Let's see what it looks like if I bounce it out, just out of curiosity. Yeah, it definitely looks a little too rough. But in the grand scheme of things, it works and it sounds good in a track. I definitely cut too much from the original, so this little part is not that great, but you definitely get the idea. In context, it sounds like this. Check this. If you want to learn more tricks like this, definitely subscribe to YouTube and my Patreon, where you can watch the full in-depth breakdown of this project, where I go over every single effect and how I came up with the sounds. So feel free to subscribe to Patreon if you're interested in that. I also have a previous video on this project right before this one, where I talk about the granular basses in both of the drops' second section. So the second 16 bars is all granular. Go and check those out. If you don't, I'll pee in your bed. For real. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out my website for a lot of high quality Serum and Vital presets and drum samples. You can also support me on Patreon, where I upload bass music specific tutorial content every single month. Peace.